Welcome back. Last time I decided to sell out for views. Typically I talk about the worst of the Royals. I mean, where else can you hear about Johnny Giavotella and Brian Bullington's Royals careers? Instead, I talked about the 2024 Royals and how their offense is shaping up heading into 2025. Now I need to talk about the pitching staff. The starting rotation was easily the most improved part of the 2024 Royals, and at times bailed out an underwhelming offense. The rotation, headlined by Cole Ragans, is a massive reason why the Royals made the playoffs. If there were any doubts regarding Ragans, I think he calmed them last year. Acquired for Aroldis Chapman, Ragans has turned into the team's ace, and I genuinely think he's the team's best starting pitcher since Zach Greinke's Cy Young years. His 10.8 strikeouts per 9 innings led the league, and only Tarek Skubal had more strikeouts. Health will always be a concern, considering his multiple Tommy John surgeries, yet he still tossed 186 innings last year, by far a career high. This offense has Bobby Witt Jr., and the rotation has Cole Ragans. It makes me optimistic for the future. Now, despite that, the Royals' leader among pitchers in WAR was not Ragans. That title belongs to Seth Lugo. One of the many free agent signings, Lugo was coming off a solid year in the Padres rotation, but he spent the past several years in the Mets bullpen. He also had doubts regarding whether 2023 was a fluke, and let me tell you, it was not. He tossed over 200 innings and ended the season with an even 3.0 ERA. At one point he looked better than Ragans, and you could still make an argument he was the better pitcher. He's under contract for 2025, but he does have a 2026 player option for $15 million. And if he continues to pitch like this, I'll be shocked if he comes back. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy JJ Piccolo's best free agent signing to date. No joke, when I first typed the script, I was under the assumption that Michael Wacha would opt out of this deal, and I was going to mention offering him the qualifying offer. Right before I was set to record, he signed a 3-year, $51 million extension with the Royals that includes a $14 million team option for 2028. I really like this move. Wacha pitched well, and it further shows this team is willing to spend money on free agents. It also gives them an excuse to trade the next guy I'll mention. Another pitcher who took a massive step forward is Brady Singer. Maybe he's not the ace the Royals were hoping for when they drafted him, but for a third starter, he's been solid. I'm sure the trade rumors will start up again like they do for Singer every offseason, and with the Wacha extension, I'm sure they will be loud. I was originally going to try and quiet these rumors. He's still under club control for 2 more years, and at the time, he was only one of 3 proven starters in the rotation. Flipping Singer for a proven bat or even prospects is now on the table. As for who would take Singer's spot as well as the 5th spot, that's not set in stone, but as I'll get into, while the Royals have plenty of internal options for those spots, there's still a lot of uncertainty on whether those names can carry the load. The most logical next man up for the 2025 rotation is Alec Marsh. He won the 5th spot out of spring training last year, and for a 5th starter, he was just fine. He lost that spot to the guy I'll discuss next, but for now, he's an early favorite to regain a starting spot. The guy who ended the year as the 5th starter was Michael Lorenzen. Acquired at the trade deadline, he looked solid until he got hurt. Like Seth Lugo, he's a long-time reliever return starter who has been getting better with more starts. Now, he's going to be a free agent, but I'm mentioning him because he's a logical backup plan if Singer does end up getting traded. Last year, he signed with the Rangers for only $4.5 million. Bringing Lorenzen back could be a great way to extend the rotation while saving some money to upgrade the offense. To me, it just makes sense. A name I personally want to see in the rotation is Kris Bubic. I think people forget he looked solid before getting hurt last year. He has only been used in the bullpen since returning, but he has looked great. His control issues appear to be resolved, and he's striking out over a batter an inning. The smart move is probably to keep him in the bullpen, but of all the internal options, he has the most upside in the rotation. If his arm can handle the workload, I'd give him one more chance at starting. I'm including Daniel Lynch in this conversation due to his experience starting, but I think the ship has sailed in regards to his chances staying in the rotation. He looked good down the stretch. In fact, he did not give up a single run once he rejoined the team in August. He may get a chance to compete for a rotation spot, but I highly doubt he gets one. Kyle Wright is a name that should not be forgotten. The Royals acquired him last offseason for Jackson Kowar, knowing he would miss the entire 2024 season with shoulder surgery. He still has 2 years of club control, and I fully expect him to compete for a rotation spot. He had a great 2022, but struggled in 2023 largely due to injury. There is upside, and he should get a chance as long as he's healthy. I do want to mention one other name that can make their way into the rotation next season, Noah Cameron. He needs to be added to the 40-man roster spot to protect him from the Rule 5 draft, and for good reason. He looked like a future Major League starter, and he will get a chance at some point. Depending on how spring training goes, he could get that chance sooner than later. I won't dwell on the free agent starters too much. I'll post a list of the notables. It's a deep-ish class, but I don't see the Royals going out of their way to pursue anyone, especially after the Michael Wacha extension. If someone slips through the cracks or just has a slow offseason, I can see the Royals try and take advantage, but otherwise I'd rather spend the money on offense. It's also why I mentioned bringing back Michael Lorenzen. He's familiar with the team and the coaching staff, would likely come back cheap, and he'd allow you to focus on bigger needs elsewhere. And now, the bullpen. Oh boy. I'll be honest with you, I really don't want to waste too much time on this. For the most part, they sucked. Lucas Erceg, whom we acquired at the trade deadline, was amazing and better than advertised. We may have found our long-term closer. The bullpen behind him, I'll admit it's not as bad as it was early in the year, but it's still not great. I'm going to rapid fire this and hopefully get through it quick. I won't mention anyone I've already mentioned. James McArthur, he might be worthy of his own video. He entered the season as our closer, and every other month he forgot how to pitch. I'm serious, I'll pop up his monthly stats. It was good month, bad month, good month, bad month, on and on and on. I really want him to turn it around because he's among the better relievers in baseball when his stuff is on. Deserves another chance if only because of that. Chris Stratton, the Hunter Renfroe of the bullpen. It looked like he was about to turn it around during the summer, but fell right back to earth. He exercised his player option for $4.5 million, and I would not be shocked if he gets the Jordan Lyles treatment next year. Angel Zerpa, I've always liked Zerpa and think he's done enough to stay in the bullpen. He has starting experience, but I'll be shocked if he competes for a spot. It wasn't a smooth season, but he was among the most dependable relievers. John Schreiber, maybe the most reliable reliever that started the year with the team. I'll root for anyone with a funky throwing motion, so hopefully he's back and healthy, perfect for middle relief. Will Smith, I was optimistic when we signed him and it just did not work. Was only on a 1-year deal, so he'll be a free agent. Doubt he gets anything more than a minor league deal, and to be honest, I'm not against bringing him back at that rate. Highly doubt he gets a major league deal anywhere. Sam Long, signed on a minor league deal and quietly became one of our better relievers. Do you try and sell him high in a trade? Would anyone bite? Considering what happened with James McArthur and the fact that Long wasn't good at all the last few seasons, he might be the one name on this team I would try and sell for prospects. Would be fine with him staying though. Nick Anderson, another veteran that couldn't put it together in Kansas City, was released in July, has not seen the majors since. Carlos Hernandez, did we fix him? He looked good down the stretch after spending the summer struggling to throw strikes. Would be massive if he's found his form again. Could be a non-tender candidate, but I'd like to bring him back. Hunter Harvey, I made a brief video covering this trade, and it's a shame injuries bit him. I liked the trade at the time, still do, and hope he can rebound next year. I'm fearing a Brandon Morris situation, but I still want him back. Steven Cruz, I wish he got more of a chance last September. Looked good when he was briefly up, and I see him being a serious contender for a bullpen spot this spring. Evan Sisk, okay, he never appeared on the major league roster last year, but I want to mention him. He's an almost 28-year-old sidearm lefty coming off a career year in Omaha. The Royals added him to the 40-man roster to prevent him from becoming a minor league free agent. He genuinely has the talent to make the major league bullpen next year. Reminds me a lot of Tim Hill, who is also a sidearm lefty that made his Royals debut right after turning 28. Deserves a chance. I will quickly mention that the Royals got Sisk and Cruz in the same trade, the one that sent Michael A. Taylor to the Twins. Might end up being a decent trade for the Royals. As for the free agent options, I'll pull up a list, but I'll echo what I said earlier. I'd rather they spend the money on offense. I'm curious if the Smith and Stratton signings will make the Royals hesitant to spend any money on the bullpen. I mean, their best free agent reliever was Sam Long, whom they got on a minor league deal. The Lucas Erceg trade eases the pressure to find a reliever, but that does not mean they do nothing. Expect some more minor league signings. Maybe they find a deal on someone decent, but don't hold your breath for a big ticket reliever. Beyond Michael Wacha's extension, I'm not betting on the Royals spending big money on the pitching staff. The offense appears to be a much bigger need, and even JJ admitted his priorities are with the lineup. That's fine with me. After watching this team limp through the playoffs with a duct tape lineup featuring Tommy Pham and a 40-year-old Yuli Gurriel, I think the attention and spending will go there. Even then, the internal options could be a lot worse. There's plenty of excitement surrounding the Royals, and the next few months are keys for maintaining that excitement into next season. Enjoy this? Want to see more? Feel free to like and subscribe, and even check out my prior videos. The Giovitella and Bullington videos I mentioned are among my favorites. I enjoy discussing random moments like that, and I would like to focus more on those types of moments. If you didn't catch my last video on the offense, go check that out. I provide a little more reasoning as to why I'd rather the Royals spend money on offense, if a choice needs to be made in the first place, and even what positions could be targeted. Until next time.